we go, the third map has started, and to the bottom right, once again, our FXO player in the red color, we now have FXO.
FXO Lucky.
He got quite lucky in the last game with his hatch with 2 hit points. Oh my god, I think I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, he was on the brink of death. Really nice timings for pulling it and everything.
I can't believe that Vines didn't send a Stalker in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have him, Protoss player for old generation StarCraft. Street Fighter Voice is a little bit shy today.
Yeah, he was a little bit shy. We did have to kind of creep him out there, pull him out. Look at Vines, man. He is just like
taking his hands away from the keyboard.
Checking out his fingernails. He's like, you know, I could have clipped him. He's like, but I clipped him 2 weeks ago. It didn't really grow that much. He's trying to decide. I really feel like if we have Vines win here, there will definitely be questions in the interview, like why did he kill the hatchery? And I'd be interested to know like his thoughts on that. You know, maybe he thinks that there were more hit points because he was trying to micro, wasn't really looking at the hatchery at the moment. I don't know, man. It's just so crazy he didn't try to target it down. There's like no excuse.
He wanted to make it more exciting, I guess.
Yeah. I guess that's the only reason.
He thought about the viewers and he was like, okay, if I'm going to kill the hatch right now, maybe it's a little bit too easy. No, I mean, just kidding. So, Lucky defended pretty well there, but still, Vines could have sent in one Stalker. Maybe at this point, Vines did not realize how low the hatchery actually was, which is why he did not send in a unit, because he didn't realize that it would only take 1 or 2 shots to take it down. We don't know. Maybe we'll have an interview with him later in order to find out, but right now we are focusing a little bit on the match at hand, and we see the wall in at the ramp.
Yeah, he went Nexus first, and if of course you go Nexus first, usually make everything else on 17. You get your Forge, your Forge a little bit earlier, but then your Gate, your second Pylon, all on 17. And he's opting the wall at the top of his ramp rather than making the Nexus as part of his wall.
Exactly, so this is a matter of preference, basically, what you kind of like to do. But you can have a huge problem if you go for the wall at the ramp if the Zerg player starts with an early pool. It can be quite a problem. It's still a huge map, so it takes quite a while for the Zerglings to actually arrive at the scene of the crime, but if you start with this Nexus first and then you start to wall, then you're usually not ready in time in order to prevent the Zerglings from getting in there.
And in this case, Vines has not even scouted his opponent. He has not sent a probe scout out. The Zerglings are desperately checking, trying to find out what is going on with Vines, trying to figure out where his probe is, but you know, he's just not out there. He's actually going to send it a little bit late here. It looks like he's going to check right for the third base. He's going to dodge everything.
Lucky probably going crazy in his booth right now, like, where is it? I can't find it.
Yeah.
It has to be somewhere.
He barely avoided the vision of the watchtower. Very nicely done. Really wants to go in there and check for that third base and then go to the natural, of course. And, of course, as well, we had the scout from Lucky, so he is absolutely in the know. He knows exactly where the wall is, how he did it, that it's a Nexus first. He knows everything.
Exactly, the scouting information are perfect, and he's getting speed a lot faster than he did the last time, so at this point he can definitely get a little bit more aggressive with the Zerglings as well and just control the map. And well, it's gonna work in his favor at this point. He's getting the third right now, which has been scouted, by the way. There's the pro finally, so he knows about the third base. And well, once again the question, what is Vines going to do? Will we see the attempt to get a third base? Is he going for a Blink Stalker timing? Even Void Ray would also again be an option, especially with the +1 attack upgrade, getting 3 additional gates, which puts him out at 4, 5.
Oh, counting with Caldo and Wolf number 2. I think he's going to do it again, man. He's going to add one more. And his probe count at 32. Cut some corners. You know, I don't like this build very much, but he really seems to like it. He seems to want to do it. Roachborn going down now for our Zerg player. Takes second gas.
There's one reason why I like it a little bit more on Antigua than I do on Daybreak. If you kill the rocks at the third base and you are able to get onto the high ground, then with all the force fields that you have available, you can just block the ramp for an eternity, take down the third, and leave.
Yep. Always going to scout this Caldor.
Nice. The scouting from Lucky has been so great in the last few games.
It definitely has. The probe, though, will sneak by the Watchtower and the Overlord to make the first pylon. The question is, will he be able to attack that third base efficiently? If he tries to kill the rocks, now that he's been scouted, it's going to take too long. It's going to waste too much time. I think he's going to have to dart right in there and try to use the high ground against his opponent from the third base location itself.
Kills the probe, very well done, so he can delay another forward pylon for a while. And I really like what Lucky's doing here. He only has 42 harvesters, he did not overcommit to his economy. He should be fine here, it's not going to be easy, but this should be a very, very intense situation, and with all the roaches that he has, with the creep being spread towards the third, I think he might be able to hold this.
Yeah, I really feel the key here is that he was able to kill that probe.
Yeah.
If he wasn't able to get that, I think he might be dead. But because the reinforcements are going to take so long, he may be able to defend this. But like I said, Vines is going on the high ground. This time, going only Stalkers and Zealots, no sentries in the mix.
And we have a couple of Zerglings, +1 is done though, keep this in mind. And it's not going to be easy though, the army for Vines is pretty strong, and Lucky needs to wait a little bit longer for Zerglings and Roaches to arrive.
And more pylons are coming in here as well, this is the scary part. And it looks like he's going to try to kill this hatchery, then back up to the pylon. Will he kill the hatchery this time? No!
No, he will not. The Zerglings are streaming in and the Roaches are doing a fair amount of damage. We already have another forward pylon. He's warping in another set of units, but it might just be too late. Yeah, the Roach is doing so much damage here, now going straight for the Stalkers.
Yeah, he's going straight for those Stalkers. If he can take out the Stalkers, the Roaches will be able to defend the Zealots, and it looks like he is going to be able to take out those Stalkers. And the hatchery still remains alive. That's the key here. He's not trading super efficiently, but he's got that hatchery up. And again, Vines has no real backup plan. The Zealot count is just too high, even with good micro, though. He's pushing these Roaches back, and more Stalkers are warping in. This is looking bad.
A ton of Stalkers actually joining the battle right now. Even though he defended against the first wave, this might be too much.
Yeah, this
for
may
Lucky.
be too much, man. The Stalkers are the key to defeat the Roaches, and if he can keep these Stalkers alive, I think he definitely wins this game.
Oh, I think he's done it, man. Intense. I think so too. He's warping in another round of units. We have more and more Roaches joining the party, but still, it's only 3 at the time. We have 5, 6 Stalkers, 7 Zealots, and the third is gone.
Third is gone, indeed. He does not have a ton of production left at this point. He's using transfuses on his queens, on these Roaches. It's just not going to be enough. And I think this wave of units coming up the ramp here, maybe too much. Spines are going down. They're too late.
He's desperate at this point. He's trying to use a more inject, but he's going to lack lava in just a few seconds. The queen is gone, and this should be it. Vines is pulling it off with only Zealots and Stalkers, not a single sentry here.
I like the patience here of Vines, waiting for another round of warp-ins before fighting. He does not want to get caught by that drone pull again, and he's going to target down the hatchery perhaps. Lucky with the last-ditch attempt to try to hold this. The hatchery will fall, several drones falling as well. And he's going to pull back here, wait for more warp-ins.
I can't believe that we have Lucky dropping down to Code B. If there's not a miracle happening, then Vines is going to take this. A very, very nice attack by him. I actually did not think that he would be able to pull it off when I saw that Lucky was able to kill the probe, that he had only very low economy.
He saw everything. It was so weird, but it looks like Vines has really practiced the strategy. I mean, you know he's practiced it because his execution here is pretty good, and he's done it 2 games in a row, basically. The first game was a different variation with 4 gases earlier on, and the sentries.
The sentries, exactly.
But in this case, it's still that same lightning-fast attack, and I think it's the last thing that Lucky expected to see from him again on this map.
Those Zealots just shielded the Stalkers the entire time against the Zerglings, and with the +1 attack upgrade, they could 2-hit them. So that was really well done by Vines. He just controlled his units so well, and Lucky lost a fair amount of units already just trying to take down this drone, this probe. So finally, we have a couple of sentries. Lucky trying to go for the lair tech, but Vines is just dominating this game at this point.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
He's calling the shots.
Yeah, there's a robotics on the way. He's killing another Roach and an Overlord over here, which is going to really hurt Lucky's production. The lack of Robotech is the only thing that Vines is missing, but he just doesn't need it necessarily. He can actually just go home and take a third base now. He's going to play this super safe. He's like, I'm just 1 game away from taking this. I'm not going to try to kill him now.
He killed the natural in the third, and now he's expanding. He's getting the Robotech. He's getting the Observer that he needs, and this is all going very well for him. And his third will be uncontested. There's not a chance that Lucky is going to mana an attack.
Yeah, there's no way. Twilight Council going down now as well. So that will unlock the ability to get +2 for his units. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't try to sneak +1 armor in during that lull after he killed the hatchery. But, I mean, if you look at the army size, it's 56 to 48, but the worker count 55 to 35 in Vines' favor with a third Nexus coming up. There's no way Lucky can take a third hatchery right now. If he does and he's spotted, he'll die. He's just basically going to have to sit back, drone up off of these 2 bases, and hope for the best. Hope Vines doesn't attack him.
No Borer on its way, and for Vines, this is perfect. He can just sit tight and wait. He can now max out and just wait because he knows that Lucky is so far behind, he won't be able to catch up. And the Observer will give him all the information that he needs. He will see if Lucky is playing too greedy, if there's another opening for him, or if he can just sit back now and relax, kind of macro it up and make sure that he is going to win this game after this huge lead that he took.
Yeah, Lucky trying to come in here, get some scouting information with this Overseer. All he's going to see, though, is the same thing that he saw earlier. It's probably going to give him nightmares tonight, in fact, those gateways. At this point, Vines is building his Stalker count up. He's got Blink on the way. +2 is on the way, adding Immortals in. Infestation Pit coming out for Vines. I like this choice because it's going to slow down any more gateway-heavy pushes. And if he can get some key fungals, he might be able to hold if Vines overcommits. But I just don't think Vines is going to overcommit. I think he's going to sit back, macro up to 200, and then attack.
The thing is, we have once again one of these situations that we occasionally talk about where Lucky can basically not win the game, but Vines might lose it.
Yeah.
So if he makes a few mistakes and Lucky is able to capitalize on it, he might just be able to get back into the game. But at this point, it's going to be very hard for him to actually take it. He's trying to just pull off something with attacking these rocks. I'm actually a bit surprised that we don't see a pylon in this position.
Yeah, a little bit surprised as well, but either way, he did see these roaches with the Watchtower. He had a Zealot there, and Vines going to take out some of these roaches. This is really crucial. Lucky is going to lose so much here. He can blink forward again if he wants to, and there he goes. He's going to force Lucky to engage. A terrible engagement for him, though.
Yeah, he can't win this engagement, and he knows it. And once again, the blink in, he tried, and that's the GG. Unbelievable. I'm happy for Vines, but I'm just shocked that we have a player like Lucky drop down to Code B.
Yeah, exactly. I think Vines is definitely even Code S material. I'll go out there and say that. But he almost lost to Lucky. It was a tough first opponent for him. And I could see in the builds that he chose a little bit of fear of playing against that late game Lucky. He just didn't want to do it. That's why he went for those really, really early 2-base pushes, I think.
Vines is a great player, and so is Lucky. These are always the situation that we talk about where we have 2 players facing each other in the round of 48 at Code A, and you basically want both of them to advance. So one had to fall, and it was Lucky. Vines is able to reach the next round, and we will see Lucky in the next Code A qualifier once again.
Yeah, we definitely will. And I would not be surprised to see him requalify on his first time. It's a tough qualifier to get through, but I think Lucky will do it.
Especially the next one is getting crazy, I think. We have so many players coming up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone is so good right now. That's why we have players like Vines playing against Lucky in the round of 48. It's not even the round of 32 anymore, it's the round of 48. There's 48 players in here, and all of them are pretty good.
And the next Code A qualifier, oh, this is just going to blow my mind. If I just think about the players that are going to participate, it's going to be insane. But, well, guys, before we head into our next match, let me have a quick look what that's going to be. I think the next game is actually Alicia against Bomber, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, okay, so before we head into Alicia against Bomber, we will have a 5-minute break, and then we will be back with the Code A, GSL Code A, and the round of 48, our second match for the day. So stay tuned and see you in a few minutes.